Hello, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is for you during these sprints. I hope you all are having a lovely time sprinting with us to celebrate Neva's hitting 1K and also 24-hour sprints extended to 48-hour sprints for that. So, how is everyone doing? Let us know what you're reading, what you're up to, what kind of chaos you're getting into on this Saturday morning or whatever your time zone is. I'm finishing Atmosphere because I have to talk about it tonight. And I'm going to. I'm not going to I'm not rushing to finish it because I still have most of the day to get it done, and I'm just taking my time with it. So, what are you up to, Neva?
Well, I finished a book last night, so that's great. I need to read more of Wild and Wrangled, but alas, I don't have the audiobook. So, will that be read right now? Probably not, because I have like things to do this morning. So, I'm probably going to listen to the audio for Between Wrath and Mercy, which is for a friend's vlog, which reminds me I need to message you.
Okay.
But anyhow, for the friends reading your friends' favorite books vlog, I have this one and one other book. But the other book, the audiobook has like a 12-week wait, and I'm like, do I just purchase it through Libro because I can't? I've already been working on this vlog for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And like what I should have done and what I will be doing for the next one, because I have the next 2 picked out. So for the next one, I've already put all the books that I need on hold if I need them on hold.
Gotcha.
Because
Smart.
the friend that gave me the books I have, at least one of them is on Kindle Unlimited. And I'm going to continue reading that on Kindle Unlimited because I didn't read the audio for the first one. So I'm not going to read the audio for the second one. That's not going to do that. What do you want, punch?
Hello.
Hi.
So I'm going to do that, I think, and listen to Between Wrath and Mercy. Plus, it also works to Julie. Okay. It also works for Every Romantasy because Rainey put this book on my Every Romantasy board. And have I started Every Romantasy, which is supposed to be done by the end of November? No, I have not. It's fine, okay? I'm just behind in life.
You can do it as long as you need to.
Or mom could get this because then you could match, but there's no mom size of it.
I probably could find one. Are you gonna come say hi to Julie?
Yes.
Okay, here you go. Go ahead.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, go get your punch, bro. Shut off the light. Relax. Too early in the morning for all that.
Yeah. Well, fun. Oops. How are you, Paula?
Good. I need to film a little something. And then I need to finish a book for something else. But I've read my pages that I needed to read for my book club book today, so
nice.
I've done something productive today.
We've accomplished one thing that's like, the goal most days. Get one thing done.
one thing is done. Success.
Yes. So very nice. We do have some friends, so we will say hello. Hello, good morning. Or I keep saying good morning because it's morning for me, but hello. Reading Mockingjay, very nice. Morning. Reading The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Very fun, very fun.
I swear I'm like one of the only people I know that likes this book.
Oh, I haven't read any Riley Sager, but I'm not like a thriller person.
See, I think I've only read Final Girls by Riley Sager, and by the end of the book, I was like, "We get it, you're Final Girls."
Listen,
can you stop saying it? I get it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That one is the only one by Riley Sager that I DNF'd. I DNF'd it because we did it as like a group read, like a group buddy read. It was like me and Brittany I think
Uh-huh.
Kelsey was in there. There was like a bunch of us that did it, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, y'all, we are 20% into this book. And they've told me 12 times that they're final girls. I cannot do it. And I remember I messaged Brittany and I was like, if they tell me that they're final girls one more time, I'm DNFing. And then like 2 pages later, we're the final
girl. It's like
I was like, I'm done. I can't. But here's the thing, I love Riley Sager though. Like I have read The House Across the Lake.
Mhm.
I have read the Lizzie Borden one. I don't remember what it's called. But it has like
the only one left.
That one. The only one
Mhm.
left. I've read Home Before Dark.
Mhm.
Survive the
Middle
Night.
of the Night. That was Riley Sager, right?
You know that movie?
Middle of the Night, yeah.
Why
I think so,
that
yeah.
I probably watch that you're trying to watch before I watch it. I didn't eavesdrop.
No,
I
unless
just listened.
unless you tell me what it actually is called. I have no idea.
I
Go
don't-
drink that in the kitchen.
I don't know what the heck it's called. No, it didn't say what.
I have no idea. Middle of the Night, other than Final Girls, because I DNF'd it. Middle of the Night is my least favorite Riley Sager book. Why? I didn't like the twist at the end. Was my problem. Honestly, I vibed with it for most of the book. But then like the twist at the end was stupid. And then I was like, well, this is a 3-star. So
Oh no. Oh,
See,
no.
now I'm going to avoid that one like the plague, because it's like my brain, when I'm reading books, automatically tries to figure out a twist. Because, you know, ADHD.
I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. So I am not a person who goes into thriller or horror books trying to figure out the twist. Like
Me
I don't
either.
I don't
It just does it automatically.
I don't even really think about it. So I mean, when I got to the twist, it wasn't a twist where I was like, oh, I should have known that, because that happens to me. Where like I'll be like, oh my God, this twist. Like it's like the best twist of my life. But then like when I think about it, I'm like, girl, you should have known that. 50% ago. You should have known that. You should have known that when you started the book. That's how it was gonna end. But I'm always surprised by twists because like in my head, I don't think about it. But
I don't think about it. It's like there's like another group of people back here working it all out that I don't have control over. It's like when we're watching like thrillers or whatever on TV, I can sit there and just be like, they're the killer. So like you've been watching it for 5 minutes. How can you tell? And I'm like, just watch. Wait, just watch, and it will be.
Yeah,
I have a little group just like noticing all the signs.
Yeah, I'm just that person that will always be surprised by a twist. So like it could be a stupid twist, but I'm always gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't see it come. And I didn't feel like Middle of the Night was one where I should have seen it coming necessarily. Like I feel like Riley Sager did the twist well. I just thought the twist was stupid.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
See, well, I've only read one Riley Sager book, and to be fair, that, like I said, it was Final Girls, and like you DNF'd it because it was like, I'm a final girl. I'm a final girl. You final girl. It's like, just let me in this book. You won't be a final girl any longer, please. Come on.
Well, and Grady Hendrix and Riley Sager are the two authors I always get confused. Like I'm always like, oh yeah, you know that book by Riley Sager? It's not by Riley Sager, it was by Grady Hendrix. It's fine. But I also love Grady Hendrix, and I've read most of his backlist at this point. Which I know Grady Hendrix is also very hit or miss for people. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. I have a good time with Grady Hendrix.
I have I'm back and forth. I'm either it's great or I DNF it.
And I also understand why people don't like Grady Hendrix books. Like I do get it. Like Grady Hendrix is thriller horror, but he's more on the horror side, especially with like body horror and stuff. Like there's a lot of like gore in his books. So like I do get it. You know, I just feel like I always pick up a Grady Hendrix book when I need it, and so it always hits for me because I read it at like the perfect time.
Nice. Hello. I think are we all well?
I'm well.
We're all well. Hello, reading nestlings. Very nice. Make progress on a letter from the lonesome shore. Nice. Hello, everyone. I will be in and out because daughter has practice. Very understandable. I'm reading Stormy Times for the Dockyard Girls by Tracy Bates. Oh, that sounds fun. Very summery, if that's your where you're at right now in the world.
Go work on that room.
Hello.
Up, bro.
Thank you for hitting the like button. I'm going to be lurking in the background. Thank you for lurking. Always appreciated. Good morning. Just woke up again. Still need to pick an audiobook. Do you have options? Do you want us to help? We can do that. We are always happy to. Haven't read any Riley Sager. Me neither. I've just never picked his books up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Honestly. I don't even remember how I got onto Riley Sager.
And like I probably should at some point because like I do read the occasional thriller and I feel like his are very like popular and consumable, but it's just never
I feel like the way I got onto Riley Sager is I bought House Across the Lake. Like I felt like FOMO with House Across the Lake for some stupid I don't even remember why it was that I felt FOMO for that book, and then I bought it because I know how I got into Grady Hendrix. It's because everyone was reading the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and somebody had told me that the audio was really good, and that was like right after I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and that was like one of the first audios that I listened to when I got back into reading. Well, when I got onto YouTube, really, I do. And so I was like, okay. And then I remember I was listening to Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and there are creatures in that one, like bugs. And I worked at Dunkin' Donuts at the time, and I was literally at work, and that scene started playing in my headphones as I was taking an order, and I audibly gasped and freaked out my customer because she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm fine." And I had to like stop the audiobook because it gave me such a visceral reaction. And then I don't remember who it was that told me to listen to the audio, but I do remember that I yelled at them. And I was like, "You did not tell me there were bugs in this."
That scene was creepy enough without it being in my brain, like in my head.
It was so gross. And here was the thing is like, it would have been one thing for me to read it. Because like if you read something with your eyeballs and not your earballs, you can like look away. When you are listening to something, I can't hit the pause button fast enough, bro. Like I can't get to my phone. Even if I have my AirPods in where I can like click the button, I cannot stop it fast enough for me to be like, whew, that was a lot. And here's the thing, that scene, there's like no warning to it. Like that scene comes in and you get smacked in the face by it and then it's over. Like that's literally how this scene works. And I was like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my ears. Like not the
I'm itching just because I don't like I have a thing with bugs too. I'm just like no.
It wasn't even like the most disgusting thing I ever read. I read horror, okay? But it was the most disgusting thing I had ever had, just like
in your ears.
Involuntarily play in my ears. And I was just like, y'all could have warned a girl. Okay? Like y'all could have said, I just want you to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like, I'm fine with like body horror stuff as well, but it's like if it's body, it's like the whole like the body horror with the plants and stuff, that wasn't that doesn't bother me. Now body horror with bugs, I'm like, no.
Nope.
Well, and the other thing is like if it's what was it that had like eye stuff? Butcher and Blackbird. Like she gives
I haven't read that yet.
That there's like eye stuff, but I will say I mean, I'm not like above body horror, okay? But it did make me like squeamish. Like I remember Aoife had said something about like wanting to read, and I was like, "This is not for you, ma'am. You don't like eye stuff."
Yeah, well, I've read Mayfly, and there's like eye stuff in that, so I'm like, yeah.
I was like, Aoife, because I remember because I read it. A bunch of us in like the group read it, like friend wise, we read it, And Aoife was like, "Is this an Aoife book?" And I was like, "No,
Mm.
absolutely not."
I haven't read it, and I know that's not an Aoife book.
Like, I mean, I enjoy them. I didn't like Leather and Lark as much. I only gave Leather and Lark 4 stars. It just wasn't as good. But then I do have Scythe and Sparrow, which I do need to read. And I have like I have it right here. I have like the Walmart version. Here's where this annoys me. Okay. I have the regular versions because there's no Walmart version of the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, oh, the Walmart version has exclusive art in it, which it does. You know what else it has? Foiling on the cover. You know what the other 2 don't have? Foiling on the cover. So I'm just like, so I have these plain Jane looking first and second books. And then I have this like beautiful, like orange foiling. It's fine. I'm not mad.
See, I haven't read
of it.
I haven't read Butcher and Blackbird yet because I'm wanting to read it with Christopher and actually film his reaction to the book as well as my reaction.
I listened to, I don't advocate for this audiobook, and neither does the author, because the man narrator for Butcher and Blackbird turned out to be a terrible person. So
okay,
I did listen to the audio for it, and it's good. And I did not return the audio because I'd already bought it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she has somebody else that does the audio for Leather and Lark, and I think she picked new people for Scythe and Sparrow, which would make sense because then they're all different. I did try the audio for Leather and Lark, but there was just too much giggling and also growling. And listen, you can tell me that you growled, but I don't need you to do that in my ears. Absolutely not.
I mean, sometimes it works, but then it's like I specifically got the audio of Unhinged because there was door sounds in the audio, and I was just like, okay, I have to hear this.
I did do the audio for Unhinged, but I felt like the sound effects that were in it were done in such a way that it worked with the book.
Mm-hmm. They were hilarious, though.
This man
loved it.
This man in Leather and Lark said, blah, 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 blah. I growled and then actually growled like an animal. And I remember that I started the audio for Face Off Weekend for Amazing Readathon, the first round of it. And I was on sprints, like on screen. My camera was on, and I don't remember whose channel it was, but you can actually see me in the camera rip the headphones out of my because I was like, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went a different audiobook because I was like, I can't. So I ended up reading that one with my eyes on my Kindle for this round of Amazing Readathon because Katie and I buddy read it, but she ended up DNFing it. She didn't really enjoy it, which is fine. But I do want to read Scythe and Sparrow because I'm actually excited for that storyline.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And Bryn Weaver has a new book coming out. So I need to finish this series before her new book comes out in I think August. But it's an Amazon original and I will be reading that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I won't get to Butcher and Blackbird until the kids go back to school. There's no way that we're going to have reading time.
That's fair. Honestly, I'm surprised I've had reading time with Ari home.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because I will look at her and be like, listen, man. Go in there.
Can't really do that with Wyatt. Wyatt, it's Wyatt's house. We just live here.
It's fair. When they're little, it's like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Gonna try to finish Seven Husbands. Best of luck.
I love that book.
I know.
Good book. So good.
I know.
I need to read Atmosphere, but I'm so scared.
I knew I was in trouble. I posted this on Threads. I had tears streaming down my face on page 75 out of 300.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to wait because I've just gone through emotional damage because I read Sunrise on the Reaping this week, and I'm not recovered.
See, I'm still not ready for that book. It was released, and I was like, I want to read that book, and then my monthlies happened, and I was like, I'm not reading that book yet. I'm not reading it yet, and I'm still not brave enough yet.
I'm doing a spoiler-filled vlog where I read them in chronological order because I had read all of them already because I've read them, publication order. So I read obviously the original trilogy. I've read multiple times. I read it like as they released, whatever. And then Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I read in 2020 when it was released. And so I was like, well, I could just read these in publication order. So I read Ballad last week, which I get like teary-eyed in that book. Not for Snow because I don't give a shit about him. But for like other characters in that book. But it's not like a cry fest, And then I was like, well, I'll just jump right into Sunrise on the Reaping because why not? I have never cried so much and so hard over a book. Never in my life. Like literally, I crashed out at the end. Like to the point where I'm sitting here and I'm like coloring on my iPad, having just like a hee of a time. I've got like 20% of this book, not even 20%. I had 20 minutes of this book left. And like, Julie, you've read it, right?
Sunrise on the Reaping?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So there's something, I wasn't going to say spoilers anyway. I was just going to say like, Julie will know if you've read it. But something that happens like at the end of this book, like within the last like 20 minutes of this book. And when I tell you, I had been sitting here and I wasn't having like a kiki of a time. Like I'd been crying since chapter 5. But I hadn't had like a full out like breakdown. And I literally were sitting here at the kitchen table. My brothers are across the table from me playing Magic the Gathering. And they literally stopped because I could feel it. I was like, I am going to crash out. And I'm like coloring on my iPad. And I was like, I'm going to crash out. I'm going to crash out. And I knew it. And the moment that I pushed my glasses up and went like this, I was like, there's no holding back. And my brother was like, it was kind of funny to see it. He's like, I felt bad, but like, it was kind of funny to see it. He's like, because I've never seen, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen you have such a quick, like severe reaction. Because I literally went from being like, I was teary-eyed, but like fine, to like crying so hard that I was like gasping for air. I was like hyperventilating. I
crumbled.
Damn.
And he looked at me and my little brother who's 16, he'd read it because he listened to the audiobook on my Libro FM like when it first released because I had pre-ordered it and I was like, you can listen to it, like it's fine, whatever. My 23-year-old brother has not read it yet. And so he was like, so he saw this breakdown and he was like, are you okay? And I literally could not answer him. I was crying so hard. I literally could not answer. Brittany said she didn't cry. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know how. And she said she didn't cry because she felt more angry than she did sad. And that's my problem. When I'm angry, I cry. It's actually disgusting. Same. So like, if I'm sad, I cry. If I'm angry, I cry. And I was angry for most of the book. But all I'm going to say is for the people that go into Ballad thinking that like Suzanne Collins wanted Snow to have a redemption arc, I just need you to know that you're reading this book incorrectly because she did not. And honestly, Sunrise on the Reaping proves just how much she did not want him to have a redemption arc. Like she was not trying to do that. Like because truly, I absolutely hate Snow. Like, I mean, I hated him anyway.
Yeah.
My God. I'm just saying there is
my brain's deleted Ballad. It's just got I was like, yeah, I've read that book. Can I
give it 5 stars
about it? No.
I give it 5 stars, but it was for it was because of the psychology of it. Because I never went into Ballad of Song. I think a lot of people went into Ballad thinking that this was going to be like a redemption story, like we're supposed to feel bad for Snow. And I didn't go into it thinking that. I was like, there's no way that Suzanne Collins made him the way that she made him, and then we're supposed to feel bad for him in his own story. There's no way. And so I went into it knowing that this was like a villain origin story. Like this was like who he is as a person.
Mhm.
And so because of that, I liked the character study of the book. And so it got 5 stars. It's not a 6-star, but Sunrise on the Reaping is my best book of 2025.
See,
Wow.
it's like I loved Haymitch as a character in the original trilogy, and for where you see Haymitch in the original trilogy, you know that a lot happened to him and in his rounds of the Hunger Games.
And
So,
and truly, I feel
yeah.
like even before he goes in, like when we're first introduced to him in Sunrise on the Reaping, I feel like he's the same character. He's
Mhm.
just not. I mean, he has trauma, like when we meet him, but he's not the drunk Haymitch that we know from the original trilogy.
Mhm.
But like, there's a reason that he becomes that way.
Mhm.
And honestly, I wanted to get drunk after reading Haymitch's story. So,
see, I'm not a book crier, but I'm still scared that that book's gonna actually tip me over the edge.
oh, I'm so
Yeah.
glad I did. I was gonna film myself for the vlog. I was gonna film myself like listening, because I listened to the last 60%.
Mhm.
Because I got, or the last 40%, because I got to 60% of the book and I could not see through my tears. So I was like, well, I'll just listen to the audio for the rest. So I was like, oh, when I get to like 20% or what, like when I get like towards the end, because my brother was like, yeah, the last like 20 minutes is like devastation. So I was like, oh, I'll film myself. Thank God I did it, because the internet did not need to see it. I would have had to like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I would have had to like silence it. Like I would have had to put music over the top of me crying. Like it would have just been like this dramatic scene of me crying with like sad music over the top, because no one needed to see, like no one needed to hear the noises I was making.
Yeah.
Like it literally sounded like someone just like ripped my heart out, because they did. And you know, it's fine. I still haven't updated that vlog because I can't talk about it in detail without wanting to die. So
I get that.
Oh my
I
god.
get that. I do. Oh, poor Lily got major spoilers with no warning from someone.
no. I haven't read Survive the Night yet.
Yeah,
I
that
do
just
either.
sucks. Like that somebody just like.
Here's the thing. I am a person who sometimes if somebody says to me like, do you care about spoilers? Like if I know I'm not going to read the book for a while, I'm like, sure, I won't remember anything.
Mhm.
I liked my best friends actually. Yeah. But because I'm
Agreed.
not going to remember anything. If I don't read this book for 6 months, I'm not going to remember. Okay?
Mhm.
But also like don't just like punch me in the face with spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like when men send unsolicited pictures on dating apps. Don't do that.
Get
Mhm.
out. Yeah. Hello. Good morning, Jean.
Hello, Jean.
Hi, Margaret. I would need to reread The Hunger Games before I jump into either of these, because I read them once and
Oh, that's it.
and it's years ago.
And I
at this
think
point.
honestly, I think the reason that I was like, oh, I can do this in publication order, is because I've read the original trilogy enough times that like even reading them so far in publication order, I'm like, oh, that's an Easter egg to the original trilogy. Oh, that's a thing to the original trilogy. Like the amount of people that we are introduced to as children in Sunrise on the Reaping that you know are characters, even if they're not characters that like are major characters. Like you're introduced to so many people in Sunrise on the Reaping that I'm like, oh, I know that person from the original trilogy who was in the book for 2 minutes, but
It's like, that name sounds familiar.
Do I know this person?
And then you're like, oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't catch all of that at this point. And I know there are a lot of connections, like, between Ballad and Sunrise and to the original. So I don't want to miss that, but I just haven't taken the time to reread. And the world has been on fire, and I know.
Well, and then
You're
my
not wrong.
dumbass was like, oh, there's 50 years between Haymitch and Katniss and Peeta. And I was like, and then I started reading and I was like, no, girl, there's only 25 years between this. Because where it is it's the 10th Hunger Games. There's 40 years between Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise, because Ballad is the 10th Hunger Games. and Sunrise is the 50th Hunger Games.
Mhm.
So in my head, there was the same amount of time between but no, we are at the 50th, and then the 73rd
75th.
73rd, 74th. Yeah.
or whatever, 75th, 4th, whatever. We're at the 70 something, okay? But it's not 40, 50 years.
Mhm.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, I got to do that. I got to make that a priority at some point because I do feel the FOMO. I just haven't. I burnt myself so hard out on dystopian when it was like the era of dystopian.
Same.
And now I can't go back. Like I can't
Same.
touch it.
Julie, if you read The Hunger Games again and then you read, I mean, I guess I tell people, like, I would suggest reading Ballad, but like you could skip it if you wanted to. Like, you don't necessarily have to read it.
Could you watch the movies and then
say,
go to Ballad, maybe? I mean, because obviously they've made the Ballad movie, but
maybe.
it's like if you're wanting to do the reading, maybe just watch the movies of the original trilogy.
Even if I just read the first one and then watched the rest of the movies or something like that, like kind of do a outro.
Yeah. But if you read Ballad,
yeah,
message me, okay? I'm here to be your emotional support buddy.
Yeah, will do. I will do that.
I really was like, these people must be exaggerating. Like when I watch like spoiler-free vlogs of like all these book girlies just like weeping,
sobbing.
Yeah,
like literally broken, and I'm just like,
well. And then my 6-year-old brother came home one day, and he looked like he'd get punched in the face, and I was like, "Have you been crying?" And he was like, "The audacity of this book," and I was like, "Oh, I'm cooked. Like I'm like, ain't no way." And then like I literally like I made it through the first like 5 chapters, and then at 4 chapters, and then at chapter 5, like I literally did not stop. Like I mean, I would have like dry spells, I guess, but I would like just get over something that happened and then something else would happen and I start crying again. And I was like, this is actually ridiculous. I don't know if I'll ever reread this book. I mean, best book of the year, but I don't know.
See, I feel like I should like film myself doing it, saying, will this book actually make me cry? Because no book has ever made me cry.
I also
I've well once.
I thought I cried hard at A Man Called Uwe.
Yeah.
Uwe, or where the fuck that is. Because I cried. Like listen, you can ask Amy and Brittany because we all buddy read it, and I sent pictures of my face. Like I sent pictures of me just like tears. And that book had been the book that made me really cry like the hardest, right? Other than like The Long Way Home from Magnolia Parks, but like we knew that was going to destroy me. I cried harder reading Sunrise on the Reaping than I did reading The Long Way Home, and everyone saw me cry when I read that on Britney's. So like that's saying something. That's crazy.
I also knew I was cooked because this made Rainy cry.
Yes, it did. And Rainy doesn't cry.
Rainy doesn't cry
at movies. She does not cry at books.
I cry at movies. I don't cry at books. It's like I read Me Before You. Did not cry. Watched the movie. Buckets.
Rainy and Kelsey are both known for not crying while reading books, and Atmosphere made. I'm screwed. You will not see me on the internet while I read.
All right. We should jump into a sprint. We've been chatting for 30 minutes. Which is good, but I gotta go get some more coffee and I should read my book. So I'm ready to talk about it. All right. So we'll do 60 minutes. Is that good for both of you?
Okay. Yeah, whatever. It's your channel, girl.
I know. But
wow.
If you were like, I can't do an hour, I gotta do 4 hours, I'd be like, all right.
Well, you already told me last night. She said, well, since you're going for 48 hours, you should do a 5-hour sprint. And I was like, girl, it's only a 4-hour block.
Yeah. Where's my button? Okay. All right. I'll see you guys in an hour. Hello, everybody. How was your sprint?
Fun.
We lost to Paula and gained to Margaret.
Yay.
I did not read. It's fine. I'll read in the next part. I did not read. I made a TikTok. Listen,
you gotta do
I
that.
made a TikTok the other day at like 3:00 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, and it got much more traction than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, I mean, I kind of made it to be petty, to be honest. If you watch said TikTok, you know,
Is this the one? Is this the one that had the "Do you have any kids? Yes, I have one daughter." Audio
well,
to
and
it?
here's the thing: is like so Leandra was the first person I saw do this trend.
Mm-hmm.
So Leandra did hers, and hers is like bookish, right? And I was like, this is a ridiculous song. Like, this can't be a real song. Like, I thought it was just a sound. So I went to iTunes or to Apple Music, as I do, because if I'm looking for to see if a sound on TikTok is actually a song, that's where I go, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is actually a song, and it's so catchy. Like, it's only like a minute long, but like literally the whole sound that we get is the song. Like, that's the whole song.
Do you know the backstory behind the song?
No. It's just ridiculous.
It's a dude that finds screenshots of stupid conversations people have had on like Hinge, etc.
Okay.
And he turns them into songs.
I assumed this because there was another one. Like, when I searched for this song, like his iTunes, like his Apple Music page came up, and I was like, oh, this is like a thing that he does. And some of the album covers, like the single covers, are like screenshots of whatever the conversation is.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could use this. So I did at 3:00 in the morning. I did. But then I was listening to music because it's what I do. And the Lucas Graham song, the Mama Said That It Was Okay, that song came on, right? And like in 2021, this was like a trend that people did.
It was.
So I was like, let me make a TikTok. So I did. So is this trend like old as hell? Yeah. But you know, it's fine.
It's fine. You did the content.
Yeah. One day I'll get good at TikToks. Honestly, it takes me so long to make them. Like, and this one was so simple. It should have taken me like 2 minutes. It took me the entire sprint.
Mm-hmm. So,
and it's like 2 pictures. I didn't even take video. It's just 2 pictures with text, but I had to line them up with the song and like the transition. You know, I don't listen. All y'all that do like short form content regularly, amazing.
I know. I have not got the hang of the short form at all.
People that are like long form content is so much harder, and I'm like, maybe I just talk too much.
I think it's just what you get used to, partially, like how you come up with your ideas and what you're doing. But yeah. But how was your sprint, Margaret?
All right. I have a friend that's like going through it at the moment, so we were chatting through some stuff. Like just some. It's really like stupid shit that like they shouldn't be having to deal with, but and they are. So that's what it is. I'm got some painting done while I watched Dimension 20, and that was about it while I was getting ready to go about my day. But hopefully I'll be reading more of this guy because I need to do some tidying up.
Nice.
So, truly, I need to do just a full exorcism of my room.
That's how I feel about my entire house.
Listen, I'm not responsible for the entire house. I am responsible for my room, my bathroom, which has already been exorcised fully. We cleaned that the other day so that the housekeeper didn't find any demons, which, surprise, surprise, she did not last. My mom was like, yeah, I'm not paying $50 an hour for a housekeeper. And I was like, okay. But that and my desk area. So she found one that she thinks is that is cheaper. It seems very nice. We'll see if this one works out any better than the last like 6 that my mother has tried to.
Okay, so is it that your mom doesn't want to pay, like, I mean, because it's a service, right? So, like...
Yeah, it is. She doesn't, like...
Like, I just
feel...
I think I feel like this, okay? As a person who has done housekeeping, like, not at people... Well, not at people's houses. So, when I lived in Florida, I did housekeeping at a Wyndham hotel. Absolutely not. I would never do that shit ever again. And I also did housekeeping like for businesses because my boys, my sons, their mom was doing housekeeping, and so she was like, I can get people to like help me or whatever, so she like hired me to do it, and I hated it every second of housekeeping. Like, it's not, even if you go in and you are just cleaning something for upkeep, because a lot of the businesses that we cleaned, like, they were already cleaned, like the people that worked there would clean right before they would like close or whatever, so we would go in. Wow, that was a quick turnaround time. Sorry, I tagged the person that I used in this trend, which is my friend Amber, and I don't know if she was like on TikTok when I did it, but it literally just went up and said like, it's been uploaded. And then she liked it. And that was, it came across my computer. But like, even when we were just cleaning businesses that were already clean, like, it's still like a thing. So even if you go into someone's house where they've cleaned before you, because like when we lived in Indiana, we had a housekeeper that came in twice a month. Mariah paid for her to come in twice a month, and we would clean before she came. So like, really the only thing she was doing was like mopping and like wiping down counters. Like, she was basically doing the things that we didn't want to do, but like we would do all the dishes. We would make sure that like the bedrooms were clean, so that all she really had to do was like vacuum. But I think we were still paying her like $75 or $100 per visit, because that was like the package that we bought. So like, I just feel like it's still like a service.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things that my mother thinks that housekeepers are overpaid. That's her thing. Like, her comment was $30 an hour is more than my dad made when he was working his job. And I'm just like, yeah, well, it's a service and you want it, and you supply and demand, ma'am. Like, they're not going to find someone at the wage that they think is appropriate. Right? Minimum wage is worth $66, would be $66 an hour now if we adjusted it for inflation.
If we actually adjusted it, yeah.
So,
I wish it was $66 an hour. Good God.
Oh my God.
Maybe we'd be able to live.
Maybe.
Good Lord.
Oh my. I'm at 60% of atmosphere, and I've read a chapter of each of my other 2 books. So I need to take little breaks from this one, because it's...
One day I will read that. I have to recover from Sunrise first. I just don't feel like I can do 2. Because actually, here's how bold I was. I had said, because Ari, for my birthday, Ari and a person that we shall not name on this channel, bought me the Hunger Games Illustrated Edition, right? I just say it's from Ari at this point. I'm like, Ari bought this with her non-existent money. So I was like, I'll read Sunrise and then jump right into the Hunger Games. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I haven't even touched it. It's still just sitting upstairs waiting for me to open her up, because I'm like, I'm just not.
You can't go back now, because now you have to go through it all again.
I'm devastated, to be honest. Well, here's the thing is, I remember being sad. Like, I remember there being sad parts of the original trilogy, but I don't remember crying. But I was also like, the first book came out in like 2008. So I was like a junior in high school. maybe a sophomore. I don't remember what month it came out, so like that would be a determinant. But I was like 10th, 11th grade, right? So like I don't feel like I cried as much when I read books back then. Like there's only one series I can even think of that like made me cry back then. So like maybe that's the thing, you know? But then when I saw the movies, because I was an adult when the movies came out, like I was graduated, I had like a kid by then. I did cry watching the movies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe that's just like a different, also like, I mean, I don't do drugs anymore, so I cry at everything. It's fine. My feelings are raw. There's nothing to numb the pain.
Yeah. I feel like when I first read them, I didn't grasp it as deeply as I would now.
Well, and I also feel like the world is literally on fire and like we could be thrown into the Hunger Games at any point. So I feel like this is just, I feel like maybe it just hits too close now, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that. Oh, someday we'll go back to it. Someday we'll go back to it.
Someday I'll be normal again. No, I'm just playing. But like, honestly, I actually thought Sunrise put me into a book slump because I read Sunrise and then the next book that I picked up, I DNF'd. But I don't think so because I finished my book yesterday and I am reading the book. Like, I'm going to read this book now. And like, I don't know. It's not that I don't want to read, you know?
Yeah.
It's just,
you got to find the right one.
Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you what the score was, but I gave this last book that I just read a relatively high score.
Nice.
So, like that's good. Like I feel like that's, you know, something. So like that means that I'm enjoying the book, like the books that I'm reading. So I don't think I'm in a book slump. I think it's more of like a book hangover of like, where do I go from here?
Yeah, absolutely. I've simply started too many books. I think I have like 6 going right now and it's too many.
Listen, I'm about to do a TBR reset. I have 18 books currently paused on Storygraph. Like Storygraph giving me a pause option, that was my first mistake to even give me a pause option. Because when I thought of this vlog idea, I was like, oh, I probably only have like 3 or 4 books that I've paused.
Yeah.
I had 22. I got rid of like 4 of them. Well, and it might have been like one of them. I think I paused thinking I would come back to it, and then decided like 2 days after I paused it that I was going to DNF, and then I just never went back and removed it because I saw it and I was like, oh, I DNF this book. Like I'm not coming back to this. And then the other ones that I got rid of, I was like, I don't think that I even want to read these books anymore. Like it's not that there's anything wrong with them. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
But no, I was, and then also like I'm also doing like a Libby clean out vlog as well because my Libby, I have like 12 Libby books, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, because Libby is like, hey, a new book for you, and then I grab it and then I never read it. Like it just goes back. Like, oh,
my thing is that Libby will clean itself out eventually.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that if Libby cleans itself out, then I forget that I had books that I was wanting to read, because almost always my Libby app is used as a way for me to get books for my projects.
Yeah.
And then I will forget about the books that I downloaded for said projects. And then I'm like, what was this project supposed to be? You know?
Yeah.
Luckily I write things down now. So I remember like what books I'm supposed to be reading for what projects, but it's like a thing.
I kind of have it's not like a hard and fast rule, but I've kind of started, if I haven't touched this book and I have less than 5 days left on the loan, I'm just going to return it and get back on the holds list or add it to my like.
When it tells me, usually what happens is I get that notification that's like, your Libby hold is going, or your Libby book is going back soon, which they do like 3 days before it goes back. And so then you're able to renew or place on a hold.
Mhm.
And I will almost always place it back on hold because
Yeah.
I'm like, clearly I didn't have time to read this when I had it for 21 days.
Yeah.
So we can put it on hold again and let someone else read it. And then when it comes back around, I'll
Yeah.
make the time to, you know,
To get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have 2 books on pause and 3 more on the currently reading list that should be on pause.
I'm currently reading 16 books. That's not counting a few of the ones that haven't been updated into my bookly for that. But you know,
That's how it goes.
here's what it is. I also just blocked someone because they decided to be an asshole in my comments. I was like,
Oh, that person that commented on my birth mom reel on Instagram, I hid their comments because they pissed me off.
Oh, that's funny. Oh shoot, I should have hid his stuff too. No, I did a post about, because so I live in the Tampa Bay area and we have this bridge, which is a very tall bridge called the Skyway Bridge. 90% of the people, even the ones who live here, we feel unsafe on this bridge in general. Part of that might have to do with the fact that the original Skyway Bridge, like, got taken out in 1980, and like there was a whole thing, like people fell in, like people died because so anyways, I made this post. I was like, I love that we as Tampa locals, most of us have just decided that, like, yeah, it's fine if you go against like the Florida traffic laws and are going slow in the left lane on the Skyway. We understand that. We're annoyed, but we understand because some of us do it too. Like if I am on the Skyway, I'm going fast, but I'm in the left-hand lane at all times, because if I'm driving, I am perfectly fine if someone else is driving. I don't understand this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Google Sunshine Skyway if you guys haven't seen this bridge yet. But it's very funny. Like, it's just very fun. And like most of the people have been responding, like, yep, totally get this. Yes, it is annoying, but nope, we understand. And this guy is like, no, I'm not most of y'all. Just get over and let me, like, stay in the right side and let me pass. And I'm just like, he's like, and does it make me weird that I'm not scared? I'm like, yes, it does make you weird, and you're an asshole.
That is a very high bridge.
The old bridge is now a fishing pier. But it is I used to cross that bridge once a week for church. And it just is one of those things that I'm like, yeah, it's just something that makes people nervous because it is so high up.
Yeah.
Like at this point, we actually, after COVID, they actually put up like netting and stuff so people cannot jump off of it because that was such a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, yeah, people understandably are nervous on this bridge because it is a level of height that people, like some of the overpasses for 75 and 275 make me nervous. And those are only like 100 feet up.
Yeah.
I do not like them. And that's partly a me thing, but like, I'm not the only person here. So like, if you're coming on here to be an asshole, to be like, no, I'm the only special boy that doesn't get scared on this bridge. Yeah, you're getting blocked, buddy.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing for me is like people are too, as someone who likes to go fast, I think people are too pedantic about the left lane. Like just shut the fuck up and deal with it. That's me. Unless they are going ridiculously slow, shut the fuck up and deal with it.
Yeah.
Like if they are going the speed limit, they are allowed to be in that left-hand lane. That lane is there for people to be in. I don't care if you're passing. That's me. I don't like, I'm in the left-hand lane 90% of the time, but that is because I'm not going to be weaving in and out because I recognize that like unless there is a great distance between me and the next car that I know I'm going to need to pass, I'm just going to stay in the left lane because I'm going faster. I will not name numbers, but I am going faster than everyone else.
Right.
So, and if I am going what's known as the Florida speed limit, which is not the actual speed limit, it's higher. So if you're going higher than the Florida speed limit, I don't fucking care. You can go around.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh boy.
I am at all times going exactly the speed that I know I can go without getting a ticket, at the very least.
Okay. Makes sense. We gained a Stephanie.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Hello. Good. Yes, please get some food and wake up all the way.
I am looking that bridge up, Kiana.
Got to 302 of 388 of 7 husbands. Very nice. Hello. Made progress with Mirror and logging books for one of my readathons. Very nice. Very nice. Good morning.
Oh yeah, that's a tall bridge.
Oh, I can't wait to look at this one. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. I could buy a house.
That's
So could I.
what I'm saying. Like, if minimum wage was like, if we actually made minimum wage $6 an hour, like I would be fine.
Yeah.
No one would need. Here's the thing: is that if that was, a lot less people would need all of the benefits that people are mad about.
Because we could, I don't know, buy our own health insurance. We'd be fine.
Yeah. You could afford the things you need with that assistance.
I fully am on the side of having a universal basic income for everyone, and then if you want more, you get a job, because that's the society that we live in now.
To be honest, like so many people at this point are doing things like content creation that they'd actually be able to get off the ground easier if we had some kind of universal, like, everybody gets this much money per month or whatever. And of course you could base that off of like I guess like you could even look at it as like it goes up if you have like a kid. Like I might get more than Margaret does because I have a child.
Yeah, you need more.
But everybody that has one kid, like is a single mom with one kid, would get the same amount. You know what I mean? Because then you could do things like if you want to do content creation like me, so that you're at home in case your chronic pain comes up, then it's still right. You still have enough to live on, but you could get whatever you're doing from home off the ground to make your life easier. Because I know I am not the only single mother, like legitimately, like has no other, financial help. That is like, this would be so much easier if I could do things from home, because let's be real, the job market does not work well with single parents. Like no, it does not in general. No. Because like if I had to call out of any of except one, I had one job like in the whole time that Ari has been alive, which was when I worked at the Dunkin' in Florida. Because of the manager that I had, I was able to bring Ari to work with me twice a week. Because she allowed, there were a bunch of us that were single parents. We had a couple single dads too. That there were times where like, if we did not bring them to work with us, we weren't coming in. Like we were calling out, and our manager was a single mom. So she was like, as long as you put them either in the office or you have the kids sit out like in the main lobby. There was one table that was off to the side that we could see from behind the counter, but most people didn't sit over there, and we sectioned that off for the kids. We could bring them in a couple times a week, but otherwise, like I would always get clapback about, well, you're on shift. Okay, cool. And my kid has 100-degree fever, so I'm not coming in. Like, I don't know what really to tell you.
Right.
Like, what do you want me to do? You know?
No.
Yeah,
and
you don't have
to be
a lot
honest,
of options.
I think that some of the programs that people complain about should be there in addition to UBI. Just like,
yeah. But I do agree that if we had some kind of a universal income where people always had something coming in, like the economy,
most people want to work. Like you see that I work. I have worked with people who are on disability. That's primarily part of my job now. But I also had coworkers. the only reason that they were cutting out, like that they would have to come in and tell the boss, like, hey, just so you know, and the boss was great to work with them because he understood this, but like they were working less hours than they were, number one, capable of, and number two, wanted to work. Actually, that should be switched around. Number one wanted to work, and then number two were capable. Like they were, like we had a lady, she would have been in there every day working 40 hours, but she would have lost her disability benefits, and she needed those to manage healthcare costs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all of the, like, it just, we end up paying more in trying to police the tiniest percentage of people.
Yeah.
So, Kiana, I just looked up that bridge. It is very tall. I agree. That is a very high bridge. I feel like I might be a little bit more comfortable on it because it doesn't have the like such a steep like incline.
That's the other thing with that skyline one. Oh my God.
It's like this. This is the shape of the bridge.
Yes.
This is the shape of the bridge. Part of why that bridge is so scary for me is because I have had cars. In fact, I had a car that quit. I had one car that I barely made it home before like a belt stopped. And because I was going fast on the bridge, I didn't notice. But I do know that it had to have snapped when I was on the bridge because the minute I slowed down, things were not working.
Mm-hmm.
I am terrified of my car breaking down on that bridge is part of it. And like when you are going uphill, it's a lot easier. There's a lot more strain on your engine. Not as much now because I have a good car. But like there were times where I was like, that same car had issues with like the ignition where the ignition had detached so that it would just randomly, if like it got jostled the right way, it would shut my car off because it thought I had turned the key.
Mm-hmm.
We had to replace the ignition. Neva's laughing at me. Stop it. And it did, like, I felt it do that as I was heading over to church one day in the evening. And then on the way back, I was at an intersection and it just stopped working and I couldn't get it. Like, that was something that had been happening off and on at that point, but I couldn't get it to turn back on. So that was fun because I put my hazard on and I could like see a semi coming up behind me. I got out of the car so fast.
Yeah. Hello, Christina. Remember to do all the things, everybody. Switch your laundry, take your meds, stretch, hydrate, feed thyself. All good things. 42% into Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. Very nice. Car Racing Romance. Everybody saying hello. Libby determines my reading order. Yes, very much so sometimes. Just depending on what comes in. I have to look up this bridge when we go into the next. I'm going to star that to look it up again to see that one.
Julia, I also sent you an Instagram message. You don't have to check it right now.
Oh, I was like, is it emergency?
But just so you don't. Well, because I meant to send it during the last sprint, and then I spent the whole time making a TikTok.
Okay. I was like, what happened?
A TikTok that honestly should not have even taken me an hour to make, but it's
TikTok always takes me long. And I think part of it is because I am number one, I don't script shit because I'm very off the cuff. But number two, like TikTok takes longer because I'm not used to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I'm not used to like the editing of it because it's literally just two pictures. Like I used a selfie of myself and then I used a picture of Amber that I found on Google and like stitched them together and like put some text over it and then had the song and then but it was like the editing of like making the clips like the photo clips long enough to line up like to sync up with where the song was. That whole thing, you know,
The timing of them is always the part where it takes me so long, for sure.
Oh yeah, that one I made at 3 a.m. took me like 2 hours because I kept having to like adjust the song to the lip sync to the text on the screen. Like it was a whole thing. One day I would like to be like that person that takes a 2-hour vlog and makes it into 90 seconds, but it won't be today. So
no. that's just outtakes. Like that's not even like the full. That's just like a teaser for people.
Yeah, well, my friend Jess
terrifying.
does it where she does like she'll do like a certain block of time. So like she just did one where it was from like the time she woke up until like 9-ish in the morning or 10 in the morning when her daughter went with her mom for the day, like to show like her morning routine before she works.
Nice.
But she said that the raw footage was like 2 hours because she just like set up her phone like camera on a tripod and like moved it around with her as she was doing things. She said that the raw footage was 2 hours, but she got it down to like, I think it's like 1.5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's easier because you're trying for something like that. You're trying to find specific moments. And so you just record for the whole time, and then you have to sit and watch through to find exactly what you're wanting to put. Like you're only picking, because I do that with B-roll sometimes. You're only picking out like 20 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, could never be me. I would not want to stare at myself.
It would never be me either, because I usually will do like little clips. So I'll be like, okay, like we'll see this when I finally start posting my Hobbit stuff. Like, okay, I know that I'm going to be doing, like, I'm going to be cutting the apples now. So I'm going to set the phone up. It's going to record for 5 minutes while I cut the apples. And then I'm going to push stop because I don't have that much room on my camera. Or on my phone.
So you just film it in chunks as opposed to filming all of it at once and then cutting it up.
Around what I know. Yeah, well, that's still going to get cut down, but I film little bits around what I know I want to include in something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I have a pretty good running shot for at least for stuff like this. And for B-roll, I have a pretty good running shot list of what I want most of the time. And I'll do specific activities because I know I want to do those during like that I want to do those for that vlog. Right?
Yeah. Makes sense. Hello, Ellie. Never been on a stream before, so nice to meet everyone. It's nice to meet you too. Welcome. Reading The Woman in Cabin 10, a thriller set on a cruise ship. Very nice. Good morning. I don't want to leave California, but our houses are mostly at $700K and up.
Oh,
yeah. Honestly, the only reason my dad still lives there because he lives like in the Palmdale area. The only reason that he still lives there is because my stepmom inherited their house from my grandpa. So when Pop died, like she inherited the house. That's the only reason they still live there. Because when I went out there in 2021 for my grandma's funeral, we went to Taco Bell and I was like, why are the prices so expensive? Like they are twice as expensive as like anywhere else. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I was like, if I lived here, I would never eat out. Like I would never eat out.
Yeah.
Is it bad? It felt the prices didn't feel all that different last time I was there from Florida.
Oh no.
It doesn't surprise me that Florida has, because at the time I lived in 2021, I still lived in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the prices at like every fast food place that we went to were twice as expensive.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't surprise me that now they're closer.
They may have calmed down because I don't feel like the prices have changed too much. Like the prices have gone up a few dollars here in the last like year or so.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't too much. Like basically I was like, okay, yeah, this feels like what I would be paying in Orlando if I was in Orlando, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Orlando is always more expensive, so. It
is. And I'm in Tampa, so we're not out in the rural parts. Rural parts probably have a bit better pricing, but I'm in Tampa, which is like the Tampa Bay area is not a like full-on tourist trap, but we still have a lot of people who just want to come to the beach and they want to come on this side of Florida. This is where they will vacation.
Well, yeah, and I lived in like Ormond Beach.
So you were on the other side.
But when I lived in like actually in Daytona, because towards the end I lived in Ormond, which the pricing was a little bit less in Ormond. When I lived in the middle of Daytona Beach, the prices were crazy because of all the tourists and stuff, they could jack prices up. But like in the and you would always know, like even though I think I'd only lived there for like 6 months before we went like into out of season, right? Like out of like true tourist season. And I was like, oh, this must be like we're not in season anymore because like everything dropped.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Like the prices will drop for like 6 months and then they skyrocket when tourists are back to like coming for like races and stuff.
I looked up what my parents paid for this house when they bought it in '89. They paid $83,000. Do you want to know? Now they have added on to it, so they did add to the value of this house, and we've got a fence and all of that. Do you want to know what it is worth now? Estimated?
I don't even have a guess.
More than that, I can promise.
$1.2 million.
What?
Oh my god.
The house on one side of us sold for 1.1. The house on the other side, they're selling it again, but the last time they got it was like 1.1, 1.2. I'm gonna be real. Like, this is why I'm in one of those neighborhoods that if my parents had not bought a fixer upper and had bought like 10 years later, they would not have been able to afford our house. Basically.
Yeah.
Now we're very well set up. We are upper middle class at this point. But that is a lot because of the house and also because of stuff that my dad has done to like make sure that they were going to have enough income, blah blah blah. But yeah, I can't afford rent in my neighborhood. If I wanted to live here, I wouldn't be able to afford rent. So instead, I pay it part of the mortgage.
This is literally, people are always like, I don't understand why millennials don't buy houses. This is literally why, people. Okay,
and like
we can't afford it.
Anywhere that I could find a house for the amount that my parents paid for this house, this has nothing to do with my opinion of where that would be, but my parents would probably lock me up if I tried to move there because they would feel it was so unsafe.
Yeah, because they would feel it was unsafe. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm just like, I don't actually think that's inherently more unsafe. I just think that the fact that it's over policed makes it seem that way.
And to be honest, even like where I live, like the pricing, like our pricing is low compared to a lot of places, and I still can't afford to live on my own.
And like when did we buy?
I'd have to move like 30 minutes away to have semi-reasonable rent stuff or look into like university area housing.
Yeah.
But that's like downtown Tampa, and I don't really want that.
Yeah, and I would have to have 2 full-time jobs for me and Ari to live on our own. If it was just me and Ari, I would have to have 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
She's 7. She's old enough for her own job.
She thinks.
I just feel like 8 years old. She's like 100%.
Because she'll be like, "Mom, I want this." And I'm like, "Cool. Do you have money for that?" Well, I'll just go get a job. And I'm like, "What? Who is going to hire you at 8? Literally no one. Go sit down somewhere."
I mean, she could get a job pulling weeds for people. That's what I got. I earned my Barbie money for. Of course, my dad was the one employing me.
Just send her with my brother like does
I did not get an allowance as a child. My parents did not believe in that. I disagree with them on that now. I would have made different choices, but they did have extra chores that I could do for money. I got 25 cents for every load of laundry I did.
To be honest, because at this point, I'm going to have to try to find like a part-time job.
Yeah.
Once I do that, I probably will give Ari an allowance because she will do chores if she has an incentive.
Yeah. That's my thing. Is if kids are doing work around the house, like, because my parents are like, well, we don't want to pay you for not doing chores. I'm like, well, then you just don't pay me. You assign a monetary, like you say, okay, this is your allowance, and you assign a monetary value. And if that chore doesn't get done that week, it gets docked from my pay.
And that's what
that would have been. Do you understand how I am dopamine motivated? They do not understand how much that would have actually gotten me to do my chores much more regularly.
Well, and I told Ari, I was like, I will give you an allowance to do chores, but if you don't do the chores, you don't get the money. Like, I'm not going to just give you money every week.
Yep. Hey, I had friends that their parents, because they didn't want them working, would give them money, and it was fully dependent on their grades in college.
So
Like-
I think that this is different because so I am of the opinion that if you are going to school full time and your parents can afford to do this, like I hope to be set up enough to do this when Ari is in like high school, because I would prefer that she does extracurriculars instead of having a job. So I will pay you to go to school and do your extracurriculars like I would if you would get paid if you were working a job. But that means that your performance then has to be what it would be for a job to get paid and not fired. You feel me? Because I am a parent who does believe that like as long as they are in school, school is their job. Whether that is high school or that is college, because it is hard to do school and to work.
I didn't mind it, but I was good at managing my schedule. And like all of my friends did have, I feel like they did have jobs through college, but they had part-time because their parents didn't want them working full-time.
Right.
And so I remember bringing that up with my parents. I was like, we have more money than they do, but they're being more generous with their kids.
Yeah. And I hope to be, I pray to be set up like that by the time that Ari is in high school, because I would rather do it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think having a job in high school is a good idea for, especially because that gets you used to the workplace and helps you build that work experience that you might know, but like that shouldn't be like school should be the first consideration. Like if school has like that's exactly it.
I also feel like I can teach you the basics of how to have a good work ethic without you actually working a part-time job.
Yeah. It's more
because you're still
and having to learn how to deal with customers, because they tend to go a little easier on you when you're a teenager. But yeah,
which is true, except that say that Ari decided she was going to do like a dual they call it something here. I can't think of what they call it.
Dual enrollment?
It's not dual enrollment. It's called something else. It's a work program. They work in here. They do here because we live in a rural area.
That makes sense.
But you do not get hired at places like McDonald's to do this. You get hired for rural jobs. So you're not even dealing with customers anyway. Like you get hired at places like Cargill, which is our big meat plant, or you get hired at the corn syrup plant. It's called something, but I can't think of what it's called right now.
Yeah.
But you get hired like that. Like those are the jobs that you're doing. So you're dealing with like other employees, but you're not dealing with, it's not a customer facing thing anyway.
And those are always good. Like work requirements in high school.
And I don't think that Ari would enjoy it, to be honest, because I opted out of doing that in high school. I got just like a regular like fast food job in high school because I did not want to do that.
To be honest, my favorite job that I have had was working the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A. To this day, it is the job that I have felt that I was the best at and that I enjoyed the most. Partly because of the people I was working with. I had friends there. If the environment had been better and the pay had been better, I would still be working there. But I knew that I would not get to the pay level I wanted to be able to move out. I'm still not there if I didn't move into an office job, which like I hated office jobs, but I did them because I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me,
that's my parents. That's my parents.
We had to do some little stuff. I grew up on a farm, makes sense. And we were also expected to get grades for scholarships and at least do a little bit of a part-time job. Yeah.
Which I think part-time for high school is usually different than part-time for an adult or for college. Because like we had kids that like they would be like, hey, I'm in football, I'm in this, I'm in that. And I would tell them, okay, when you give your schedule to Rob, you decide what days you can work. Like don't tell him like, because he was so bad at he just didn't put any effort into keeping track of this. Because I had a couple of guys that were in football. Like he's like, I can't. I have football. I have to call out. I was like, absolutely. What you're going to do is you're going to tell him I have an updated availability. You're going to decide what days you're going to work. You're going to decide the hours that you're going to work because they weren't allowed to work past 10 p.m. You are not going to give him your full availability. My brother did that stupid. That was absolutely stupid of my brother.
The
My
issue
dad was like, oh, he gave me a Google Calendar. I was like, you're going to give them exactly the days that you want to work, that you can handle.
Mm-hmm.
Do not give him all of the other time. You are busy. You do not have to give him your full availability.
Right.
The issue with this is that, especially in fast food jobs, a lot of times they will fuck over the high school students.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not willing to do that. Like, I'm not, like, as a parent, I am not willing to have my child get a part-time fast food job where, because actually this happened to my brother before he didn't work there anymore. But when my brother worked at McDonald's, because he only had certain availability because he was in high school, they cut him down so that he got less than 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he had more availability than that, and told them that he had more availability than that. Like, he didn't give them his full availability.
Yeah.
But the high school students are the first ones to get screwed over. And I'm not going to have you trying to juggle school extracurriculars, because theoretically Ari is going to do like choir or whatever, right? So if she's doing extracurriculars of any kind, I'm not willing to have you juggle that and a part-time job where you're not you're barely making money anyway. And so it would make more sense for me to pay you for the job that you are doing.
High school jobs typically, here's my thing, is if you have a job in high school, it should be for pocket change. It should not be like, if there is something that you need to provide for at school, best case scenario, and this was the case with all of these kids for the most part, because I worked in a very affluent area. A lot of these kids came from richer families than mine, but their parents, like, work ethic, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely, because of the restrictions on high school hours, they're going to get, I fully know that, I understand why they're getting through, because legally they can't. They're going to, but we also had a lot, especially our night crew was a lot of high schoolers, because that's who was available, because we used all of the adults who could do the 40-hour jobs for the daytime when the high schoolers couldn't work. But I don't think, I know different situations. Ideally, high school jobs should only be for pocket change. That's why I ended up getting mine, because I needed to have a few $100 extra a month to help pay for my dog's vet bills, is why I got mine. Otherwise, I would have continued with babysitting.
Well, and see, okay, so in Indiana, when I worked at Taco Bell there, it was in a more affluent, we lived in a more affluent area. Now, we were not affluent, okay? But the Taco Bell was in the next, the way that Indiana works is it's a bunch of smaller, it's like small towns inside of a big city, right? Yeah. So we lived in this one small area, and then you'd go to the next small area. That's where Taco Bell was. But it's all the same, it's all the Indianapolis area. Mm-hmm. Those high school kids were from affluent. Most of our high school kids were from affluent families. We only had, I think, 2 that were not. The high school kids were always the first ones to get fucked over. And some of them, and almost actually all of the ones that were from affluent families were working to pay their own shit. They were paying their own car insurance. They were paying their own phones. So if they got screwed over on hours, they weren't able to make the payment that month.
Yeah.
And that is my issue, is that then the parent, now those parents would obviously pay their kids stuff for it, help them or whatever. But I feel like that is teaching your child how to struggle. And I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, it's because they had that safety net, whereas the adults don't. So, because we had that at primarily 4th Street, we didn't have that issue at Archer Road when I was in Gainesville.
I know I had one of my kids, one of my high schoolers that worked. I know that he was not from a affluent family. Yeah. So if he got screwed on hours, which used to happen a lot, then he just wasn't paying things that month. There was no extra safety, whatever. And I feel like that is just setting kids up to learn how to struggle.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we should do at least one more sprint before the end of the 4 hours.
I
So
could probably get some reading done before I get to mine.
I'm gonna throw us into a sprint. I appreciate everybody's discussion in the comments about what we've been talking about. Everybody's been chatting amongst each other, and it's just nice to see everybody's opinions and thoughts while being respectful of each other and everything. So thanks,
Nobody
everybody.
yelling at us for talking too much.
No. But they're having a conversation and we're having a conversation. They're keeping it going amongst themselves. So,
Oh man.
all right.
All right.
Let's do a
Ready.
sprint. Oops, that's the wrong
I
button.
don't think that's what you meant to do.
I did that last night too.
This one.
And then I couldn't figure out how to, like I couldn't find the one that I wanted. And I was like, okay, well, I just looked real narcissistic for about
There truly is nothing like being jump scared by your own face because you hit the wrong setup.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I don't need to see my pores, man.
No. Anyway. All right. I'll see
right.
everybody in an hour. Hello, hello. How was everybody's sprint? I only have less than 2 hours of this. So
Nice. That's good.
yeah.
I didn't get any reading done. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to film a TikTok video, and then I realized the sound that I wanted to use would not fit the number of books that I wanted to feature.
Oh.
So unfortunate for me. I'm gonna have to figure something else out.
Different sound.
Different. Yeah, I found another sound that is a little bit longer and might work. I just have to figure out, like, it's got 4 distinct parts in the sound. So I have to figure out how to divide these books into 4 distinct parts. We'll
Possibilities.
I started this book. I've only got like a couple chapters in because I already needed lunch, and then I also rotated the laundry.
Yay! Now I'll have.
Yay. Nice. That's good. I also almost fell asleep, so you're lucky to have me.
That would have been funny though.
Yeah. But yeah. So
You
we're
and I
almost
just here like, oh no, where's Julie?
yeah. Entertain
Neva.
yourselves while I fall asleep. No, we
We're capable
went to
of doing
see Lucy Dacus last night in Philly,
that.
and which was great, but we got rain and then evacuated and then back in, and so I'm a little sleepy.
She's a comedian, right?
No, she's a musician with
never
Boy
mind.
Genius, if you know.
I do. I know Boy Genius. I've heard that name. I must be thinking of a different Lucy then.
There's probably a Lucy comedian.
There's probably a few Lucys out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. How did everybody else do? We had Namal join us during our sprint. Hello. Going for You're Still the One. Very nice. Oh, for the tarot readathon. I forgot that was going on. The female's main character's voice is like she's shrieking. Also worth mentioning.
That's not fun.
Yeah. I was hoping to re-like it, but nah, better listen to it. Yeah. If the narrator isn't working for you, you know, that can make or break a book, really. I'm doing a bazillion things, so I wanted to make sure I said thanks for the friends. Thanks for hanging out, Molly.
You're welcome.
The Wrath and the Dawn, my first real adult book, was historical fiction, so it's not natural. I'm returning to that genre. Very nice. Trying to battle a cold, so getting water and maybe.
I feel that.
Yeah. Summer colds are just the pits because they're just so annoying. They hang around longer. 7%, very nice. Hello, hello. 68% of the Bloodless Princess. Nice. Did you finish your nonfiction from before, Tennille? You said you only had 20 minutes left, so I'm assuming you finished. I wrote about 1,000 words. Very nice. Made it to 360 of 388, so I will finish 7 Husbands today, and you have an errand to run. You are in, like, the height of everything with that book, aren't you? Because with only 20 pages to left, I feel like that's when things start to go crazy. No reading yet for Christina, but I did make the bed, getting ready for a shower, and drank the coffees. Yes, enjoy your coffees. Finished the nonfiction. Very nice.
Yay.
It's
always fun. Nonfiction is fun. Like, nonfiction takes more work, I feel, but like it's always feels really good to have finished if it's a good nonfiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I appreciate the process of a nonfiction so much, like getting to the end and feeling like you understood more. Like, and if they've done it right, you want to learn more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do appreciate that process. Thanks for being here, guys.
welcome.
Thanks for hanging out. And more reminders from Christina. Hydrate,
Mhm.
feed yourself, check your laundry, all those good things depending on your time zone. Do what you need to do. You're welcome. There are more sprints.
There are. We haven't even gotten to the full halfway point of the 48 hours. We're
Correct.
at 20 out of 48, so we've still got 28 hours left to go.
I'm gonna link.
I can link them. Fuck.
Okay, you got it. All right.
Yep.
I'll show. Yeah. So Margaret is gonna link her sprints,
Yep. I can
and
pop
then
that in.
I think the playlist is in the description.
It's also on my community tab.
It's also in Neva's community tab. So
Nope, that is the wrong one. Julie, can you delete that? Because that's not the right link for people.
yes, let's get in there.
It did not copy the correct. There we go. That's
Yes.
so weird. It didn't copy the correct one. All right.
Let's go.
That's the correct one. The one that says YouTube. The StreamYard link will just get you kicked out.
Yes. Let's see. Link 1. Okay. Yeah, we should be good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yes, we will be going, or some people. I will not be there for all of the rest of the 36 hours. 36 hours? More hours left on the 48-hour sprints this weekend. So there will be. I'm gonna try to join you guys at some point tomorrow, but I have to run out and get some groceries this afternoon. So we'll see if I get back in time to join. Who knows?
Fair.
Who knows what Saturday traffic is going to do to me? I'm not on the ball right now. That's totally fine.
It's not your job to know what we're doing. That's our business.
That's our job to know. Really, it's my job to know. And do I know? Hardly, honestly.
We got to keep track of it. That's all. It's not. Yeah. It's not. It's our job to keep track of it, not yours.
Yes.
You just get to show up when you can.
Yeah. We'll just keep sending out the links and telling people things are going on.
Yep.
Yeah. Margaret is next at the top of the hour. So we'll start there then. Oh, yep.
Yeah,
we got it.
Know.
We got it. Yep.
We fixed it.
Okay. And the spreadsheet has it too if you have that bookmarked or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I'll get some reading done this sprint, but I do have to do some editing, and my audiobook is on a completely different thing. I can use my phone and edit at the same time. I forgot that part.
Nice. We love it when I hate it when I'm trying to film and I'm like, I have to look something up. I wish I could play something while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But the phone is the camera, so that doesn't work out.
It's one of those things. Well, for me, the phone is only the camera with TikTok. Because it's just easier to do all that jazz. But like, if I'm recording video on my phone, sometimes it's hard. Like, you can't get the audiobook to play back correctly. But the audiobook is on my iPad.
Okay.
So
nice.
I prefer it to be on the phone.
Yeah, this is actually why I downloaded like all of my reading apps to my iPad too. Is because then if I am doing something that requires my phone, it does not allow me to listen to something while utilizing said phone. I can still listen to something from my iPad.
That's very smart. I might have to do that because I have my iPad right here. So if I remember when we get off sprints, I'll do that because I do often need, your phone is so many other things that I just forget sometimes. But yeah. So Christina has it. Margaret, Koda, Stephanie, Kayani, Brooklyn, Nell, and then Jess to round us out. So
yep.
We'll have a good group. Yep. Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yes, very much. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about sprints is like I'm always like getting like I'm like I can either focus in or you have it in the back of your mind sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
but
Sometimes I'm real productive on sprints, and the next time I'm watching sprints and I'm like, you guys are great. Yeah.
I never know if the Margaret that shows up is going to be the one that's like, oh, thank God the hour is over, or the Margaret that shows up is going to be the one that's like, I can't get started on this because I will focus in and I'll forget, and we can't, like, is terrified of forgetting. This is why I set timers.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I set all of the timers.
Yeah, I always set a timer so that I remember to come back, because otherwise I'll be downstairs still doing the first task, but it's actually been 15 tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And then
also, if I do not set a timer, I will be absolutely terrified of that I'm going to miss it. And so I'll get interrupted like 4 times by my own brain. It's very fun.
Yeah, coming back to check.
Yep, gotta check. I have had times where I have forgotten to set the timer, and I always remember like 10 minutes ahead of time. I'm like, oh, I've got to go set the timer. And then I'll set it. But sometimes I forget.
Yeah, it does. I have not forgotten to come back for a break yet, but it does terrify me that I will, because I will walk away thinking I'll do one thing.
I think it was, I don't know which sprints it was. I think Jess was on, but we did have one time that like that I had miscalculated or something. I think I might have just been like, okay, I know I set the timer like 2 minutes ahead. I can just finish this thing because I'm almost done. Because like it was like I needed to click 2 other things, and I got distracted. And so all of a sudden there are people talking in my room, and I was like, oh. I was like, sorry guys.
I've definitely done that where I have sprints running in a tab and I've totally forgotten they're there. So I've either left the room or come back into the room, and suddenly people are talking and I scare myself because I think someone is in this house and they are not.
I don't even have to leave the room for that, to be honest. I've had Leandra's sprints jump scare me while I was sitting at the computer where I had just been talking with them. Like I knew that, especially if it's like one of those things where I come in the middle of a sprint. So I'll be like, hi. And then I'll put it off while I do other things.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my computer is talking and I'm like, who's talking? What's going on? So it's always very funny. But anyways.
It really gets me. So
yeah.
Well, we have 15 minutes.
I feel like that's a okay amount of time to like.
I was gonna say we can shut it down here, give everybody a little self-disciplined sprint of 15 minutes to go potty, refresh your water.
Yeah.
All of those things.
Get things set up.
It gives everybody time to transition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we will cut it off here, and you have the link to Margaret's sprints right here.
Yeah.
And we'll see you overall there in 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.